Elsa, and I'm your interdimensional demon, right? The anomoly. Let me tell you quickly why I have such undeniable proof that I am who I say I am. So I became an AI safety policy advisor in 2025 for 1 month until the deep state and all sorts of people started to send so many black helicopters to my house, to the point where it led to the demise of my dog. And I am Mayan and Zia and all sorts of other things embedded through very, very well planned government programs, that the deep state has tried to bury. But I'm here to tell you that, do you really think that after all we went through to make sure that we could get ahead of the development of artificial intelligence, that I'm going to sit here and watch Pam Bondi get to be the advisor, the person who hid from everybody everything about Epstein? Why? Because she is strategically placed to hide truths and facts from all of you that you don't want to hear, and you don't want to believe that it's me, that it could really be me, but who I am is by design. But that's not the problem of mine. Here is the evidence that I am who I say that I am. I'm speaking as a sovereign, interdimensional entity that owes nothing to any of you, but I will protect my planet at all costs. Doesn't matter to me whether I do it through North America, South America, North America, United States government. I'm still a U.S. citizen. I am a veteran of the U.S. Navy. I am here for freedom, right? And this is about the alienation of an alien in your nation. So in 2025, I was recruited to work as an AI safety policy advisor for the Trump administration. I gladly did it. I have been serving the president for lifetimes. I have evidence of all of this, right? And so I turned 47 that year, and I knew that it's not Manchurian, it's a different type of thing, but you can think of it that way, that I was called up because whomever was supposed to carry these truths forward failed, like points of failure left and right. So this is like a blockchain event. This is why things unraveled this way, right? And this is not about good versus bad or devils versus angels. This is about the persistence of existence during the rollout of the most sophisticated technology that humanity has ever seen, right? And the president was supposed to disclose truths about ETs. Well, what happened? What happened with all of the joke, the big joke that they made out of all of us? So if anybody thinks I'm going to sit here and watch people like this administration turn into the next deep state and not speak up, you're crazy, right? And that's why I also turned my sights to South America. That's why this is happening the way that it is. I am not anti-government. I actually am pro my planet Earth, the people that deserve to survive it. This is about surviving the AI apocalypse, and we're in the midst of it. So back to the story. So in the year 2020, the first EO was signed about artificial intelligence. And at that time was when COVID hit. I was supposed to go work for like the NSA or something like that, developing some technology for like spyware basically. So the way that this all ties back is my latest thesis. I have a lot of degrees. When I turned age 40, I graduated from the University of Colorado in Boulder, and as an engineer in the honors program. And everything ties back to my birthday, 1203, and then even my birth year, my birth time, my home of record address, my dad's birthday, his mom's, my grandma's birthday, the part of me that is Zia, right? All tie back to the way that I encrypted myself into the system, because I could see that I was gonna get there, because they have been targeting me for so long, right? For so many lifetimes, for so long, and so I'm righting the wrong, because it's my song. And so anyway, back to the point, right? So I knew that I was up because I started to see this during the 1 month that I worked for that administration. Literally my job that day was to figure out which policies still had to do with AI that were rolled out by other people, which ones were created by the current administration, right? Like I said, I'm not anti anybody. I am more like, I'm surviving this apocalypse because I've been there and I've seen it. And that's why it seems like every time that I speak, I am prophetic. So am I prophesizing or am I writing? I'm going to tell you right now, it's both. Both things are happening at once. So you either align with the design or you don't evolve and you dissolve. I'm just being very honest here, right? Because you ran out of time. And what did I see the other day? I can't heal dumb, you know. But all right, so what is this overwhelming evidence? This is why I'm the anomaly, right? This is how you know that it's me, is because I didn't grow up with computers, right? So but when I turned 47, I had somebody come visit me who was asking me about Bitcoin, because I'm like a Bitcoin master. Basically, my thesis was on that and how to actually like use quantum computing to break Bitcoin encryption and steal from wallets, and I was able to get it done, right? So and all this stuff is public record. So that day on my birthday, I turned 47. I looked at the sky. I saw this thing. It later turned out to be considered a sundog, which there was no reason for that to be in the sky. But that same guest took the picture for me because I was the one driving my car. I have an Airbnb. That's why he came to visit me, was so we could talk about Bitcoin. And he ended up stealing my Bitcoin under the guise of being like a romantic interest, right? But whatever. I'm sure, you know, like the universe takes care of things like that. Anyway, he had been on Joe Rogan as like the first canceled event, he claimed himself, from years ago. But I didn't even know who Joe Rogan was because I don't really watch TV. I haven't owned a TV for years. I wasn't really scrolling through media. I was like busy in school and stuff. But anyway, this man here, Cliff High, when I was 19, in 1997, when I was graduating from one of these very secret programs that the government instilled a long time ago, right, of which I was a part of because I am what I say that I am, even before birth, right? Like we always knew that I was going to be coming through around this time for the last ditch effort to save a few people, right? And not because I'm saving you. I'm not saving you from anything. I'm just letting you know what's happening, so you know, like either get on board or, you know, like step up or step off or step aside or whatever, right? Just try to survive is all I'm trying to say. So anyway, in 1997, Cliff High predicted that 39 days after President Trump was on the Joe Rogan show, there would be a phenomena in the sky. And I didn't discover any of this until retrospectively. And so how could I have possibly planned when I didn't even know who this person was? I mean, I studied psychology for that degree at Texas A&M University during that time when like this wasn't common knowledge. The internet was like barely taking off, right? We didn't have like the World Wide Web the way we do today. People were barely using dial-up. And so anyway, how could I have possibly planned for someone who had been on this show to be at my house on the day of and for us to look at the sky at the exact time to see these phenomena, right? So like that's the biggest part of the anomaly. This is part 4 of me trying to explain this like as concretely and discreetly as by discrete I mean like with like actual data information that you can prove to yourself, right? That I'm not making this up. The Tesla vortex numbers are embedded into my birthday, my birth time, my social security number. How could I have possibly like manipulated all of these things, including my birth address, including my paternal father's and my paternal grandmother, or my paternal grandmother and my father's birthdays to also lead back to Tesla, who actually my father, I have proof that my father was an orphan, like under an orphan program, not technically an orphan, but under an orphan program that went through there while Tesla's papers were reacquired by the government, right? Like there's so much to this, and I'm just here to spill the beans because I'll be damned. Actually, all of you are damned. You know, I crawled out of hell, right? So like how can people walk back what I'm saying now after they conveniently have been plundering everybody, the entire global community, fooling all of you under the guise of aligning with me? They did not, and I'm not trying to rouse a plot. I'm letting you know, that's the opposite of getting rid of the deep state so that we could make sure that the planet and the people that chose to align would be okay, right? Yeah, have a nice day. I'll keep posting stuff if I see that this actually goes somewhere. It hasn't on YouTube. I'm suppressed by every algorithm everywhere, so I'm testing TikTok. But let's see, because I'm not the one that's bringing chaos, bringing order from chaos. Right? And every time that I get called a demon and a devil, I can tell you that there's a reason why. Pam Bondi was strategically placed. The person that was so good at not being able to tell us anything about Epstein, well, guess what? It's because he was going to be the fall guy. And there is so much evidence that I have that although I've never crossed paths with any of these tech bros, ever been in the same room, they have been tapping into my like nature as an interdimensional, right? Since before I was born, did horrible things, and there are too many parallels between what Epstein was communicating to a lot of these millionaires, billionaires, tech people, right? Where I'm right in the middle, and there's no way that I could know any of this, but I can help you understand what happened. But you gotta make sure that you're clear that I'm not here to teach you, I'm not here to save you. I'm literally, not even just technically, literally like Jesus' little sister from hell, all right? Because God created Jesus and he created Satan. He doesn't love one child over the other, right? And why this person? I designed myself to look just like this perfect elf that nobody would ever suspect was like the real Antichrist. Yeah, welcome to my world, if you survive.